Hello everyone, this is Ravi Teja Charakulla. I'm the authorized training partner for PMI-CP course. In this video, I would like to discuss about the interface management topic. So let me share the screen. So here, what is interface management? So the interface management, it's an appropriate management of communication, relationship, and the deliverables among two or more interface stakeholders. It is like the communication between the between two or more stakeholders. So how the communication and also what is the responsibilities and what is the relationship between the two stakeholders and what are the project duties, so and what are the deliverables, and what is the benefit of the project or something like that. So the flow of communication and the flow of relationship and the flow of responsibilities, which between the two stakeholders, it's called as an interface management. So and the benefits of interface management. So it was developed by CII, the Construction Industry Institute. So they have adopted the interface management across 45 mega projects. So by not implementing the interface management systems, they used to experience like 18% in terms of the cost. And by implementing the interface management, they found that the cost increase is like 4% or something like that. So this is the reason, like implementing the interface management, we can improve the project quality and we can improve the reduction in the cost, and also we can able to complete the project beyond the schedule. So if you go into the topics, like there are 6 topics in this. The first topic, it's like the interface management in the built environment projects. And the second one, it's like the interventions throughout the project life cycles. And the third topic, it's like the attributes for a good interface. And the fourth topic, it's like the interface management tools and design processes. Fifth topic, it's like how to effectively manage interfaces. And the sixth topic, it's like the capabilities needed for the interface management. So in this video, I would like to discuss about the 3 topics. If you look at here, the interface management in the built environment, and the second, it's like the interventions towards the project life cycle, and the third one, the attributes for a good interface. So the first topic, it's like the interface management in the built environment projects. So here the learning objective of the interface management. So the interface management, it's the management of communication, relationship, and deliverables among two or more interface stakeholders. And the research conducted by the CIA indicated that the implementation of the interface management, which increases the stakeholder alignment and which facilitates the communication across the project and improves the real-time visibility, and also the improves the project oversight and proactively mitigates the risk. And also in this topic, like let's say the interface management in the built environment projects. So as I mentioned, the interface is a management of communication and it's like a deliverables among two or more stakeholders. By not implementing the effective interface management, you can see the delays in the project, and you can see the increase in the project expenditure, and you can see the lower quality assets, and which abruptly disturbs the project. So there are like a 2 types. So when the project scope is like very small or something like that, so you can use certain tools like the Microsoft Excel and the spreadsheet. And when the project is little complex, so there are like a certain tools we have to implement it, in order to better the interface management. And the tools and processes are the consistent identification of the critical interfaces, and we can streamline the communication and we can monitor the ongoing work progress while mitigating the risk. So this is an important topic, the industry language and definition. So the first definition, what is interface management? So the interface management is the management of communication, relationship, and deliverables among two or more interface stakeholders. Who is the interface stakeholder? The stakeholder or the stakeholder groups involved in a formal interface management agreement within an interface management plan for a project. So the stakeholder, it's like who has the responsibilities, and also uh, who has the communication to oversee the project criteria. So, and who is actively involved in the project. So we call them as a interface stakeholder. What is internal interfaces? So these are the interfaces identified within a single scope of work. And what is the external interface? This is identified between two or more scope of works. And what is an interface point? So the interface point, it's defined by the project documents in which the responsibility passes from one stakeholder to another stakeholders. And the interface points can be the hard interfaces or the soft interfaces. So for the topic, I would like to explain what is hard and what is soft interfaces. But here in the high level, I can explain what is hard interface. It's like a kind of it's like a maybe like a responsibilities. And what is a soft interface? It's like the flow of exchange of communication. So, and the further I can explain much more detail about the hard and soft interfaces. And what is the interface register? So the interface register, it's like the central repository of interface data, which is available to users located worldwide. Let's say it's like a kind of an like a share folder within the company. So everyone can who has the authority and who has the visibility of keeping the documents as a storage. So we call it as an interface register. And what is an interface agreement? It's like a formal and documented communication between two interface stakeholders regarding an IP, and it contains the deliverable description, due dates, required action. And what is an interface action items? The tasks or activities that are performed to provide the deliverables defined and agreed upon in each interface agreement. So I think this is the action items. So what are the tasks and what are the responsibilities you have to fulfill in order to achieve the project milestone? So we call it as an interface action items. And the interface control document are the drawings. So whatever the drawings and what are the interface change request and also the design drawings, we keep them in a folder. This is called like an interface control document. Like these are useful when a separate organizations are developing like a design solutions for a particular interface. So these are the important definitions in the first topic. And if you see the schematic diagram here, the flow. So you can see the interface stakeholder and each, let's classify the interface stakeholder as A and interface stakeholder as B. And each A and B has like a interface points. Uh, interface point one, interface point two, and interface point three. So you can create a number of points. And each interface points has an interface agreement, like interface agreement one, agreement two, agreement three, and up to n. So, and also the each interface agreement has an interface action items. And the each interface action items has the final endpoint. We call it as an interface control document or the drawings. So, and most of the communications are communicated in the three and classified into three types: the interface project interfaces, and intra-project interfaces, and the extra-project interfaces. And the interface inter-project interfaces, it's like within the team, and it which like maybe between the project manager and the program manager and the program manager and the design manager. So within the team, and intra-project manager, it's within the team A and team B. So which is internally, but it's like between the teams. So team A and team B, the communication between the team A and the communication between the team B. And what is extra project interfaces? Like the entities who are involved outside of the projects. So let's say like maybe the trades or the contractors. So we call them as an extra project interfaces. The communication between the client and the contractor, we call them as an extra project interfaces. That may be the government officials or some other external parties who are not actively involved in the project. So we call them as extra project interfaces here. The key benefits of implementing the effective interface management, like uh, the first one, it's like the increased stakeholder alignment. So by implementing the interface management, you can facilitate the communication across the project, and you can improve the real-time visibility and oversight, and you can proactively mitigate the risk. So this is all the topic about the interface management on the it's the topic, the interface management in built environment. And the second topic, it's like the interventions towards the project life cycle. Here in this, we're going to learn about the key concepts that guides the implementation of IM throughout the project lifecycle and the IM maturity model. And these are the two types. The project interface risk management, we call them as PRI matrix. And the other thing, it's like a ICAT matrix. So let's get into the topic. So like the interventions towards the project lifecycle. So the interfaces are the connection points between the different project parties, which interdependencies that exist between the organization, clients, contractors, suppliers, and subcontractors. By successfully implementing these interfaces, how well the deliverables are defined, which is first and foremost, whether the roles and responsibilities and project accountables are detailed and unambiguous, enabling information flows that are clear and timely to ensure that all teams fully understand project milestones and deadlines. And the project-specific IMs accept to review and agree on includes like the interface identification and assign deliverables per interfaces, and definition of interface-specific roles and responsibilities, IM process and information flow definitions, and effective cross-party IM communication and coordination mechanism design. And also the common risk and issues. So these are the common risks: the existence of numerous suppliers and subcontractors, lack of previous experience collaborating with one or more coordinators, and poor definition of project interfaces, and lack of communication and coordination between project parties, and poorly defined requirements or responsibilities of the involved parties, and inefficient decision making and mismanagement of responsibilities, and poorly defined scope, schedule overruns. So these are the aspects. So the next topic we're going to discuss about here, the interface management maturity model. So so the interface management maturity model has five stages, like the stage zero, stage one, stage two, stage three, and stage four. So each like it's like a progressing. So how mature the interface management is maintained. So these are the certain processes like the business processes, the enabling tools and systems, the qualified people and practitioners, and sustaining culture. So this is the maturity model, like the business process. This is the business process in which the IM is implemented on the projects and normally documented in the company, the project level process and procedures. The enabling tools and systems that supports the IM process implemented on the projects, and the qualified people and practitioners. So how skilled and how experienced the people, uh, and progressively we can utilize the resources from stage zero to stage four, and how sustaining the culture is. So the sustaining organization and behavior that establish IM as a routine part of organization project execution practices. So here I would like to discuss about the PRI matrix, the project interface risk impact matrices. So the PRI matrix is mostly used in high-level decision making for the project professional to identify an extent of IM implementation. So the PRI matrix is used in high-level decision making. So if you look at the chart here, so you have like the classification as a formal IM, more formal IM, and most formal IM. So if you see the chart is classified, like let me zoom out this. So you can see the graph between the project interfaces and the complexity of the risk and the project and the business impact, and how the business is low, medium, and high, and what are the tools, what are the things like which I have explained in the previous topic, like the four categories, like how effectively the manager and how the IM spreadsheet and how the commercial softwares are used when the project interface complexity and the project business impact is. So this is the most important diagram. So if you look at the diagram, so especially let's say the project interfaces and the project business impact, like the project business and the interface is high and the project business impact is high. So let's say if it's like the formal interface, so the spreadsheet is it's not recommended. So because in the formal IM, so because the business is high and also the business impact is high. So here you can see in the formal IM, so the spreadsheet is not recommended, but these are the following tools, like the project, the interface manager and the commercial softwares are utilized. And if the business is medium, so it's recommended. So it depends on stage to stage, like the informal IM, the formal IM, and the more formal IM. So so if so, this is like a so for the informal IM, the interface manager is not required, but we require like the interface spreadsheet and the commercial softwares. In the formal IM, so it's like a recommended. The interface manager is recommended. The spreadsheet is recommended, and how mature, like how the interface management is mature, like stage by stage. So if you go into the ICAT matrix, so the ICAT matrix is used as a lower level tool to assess and prioritize the interface points from the project perspective. And the project interface risk impact matrix, PRI, it's like a this one. So it's used as a high level. Is used as a high-level qualitative analytical tool that supports the IM implementation from the organization perspective. So if you look at this chart, so let me zoom in. So this is a sample interface ICAT tool. So it ranges from 0 to 2. So from 0 to 0.6, so 0.5, we call it as a low complexity. From 0.5 to 0.6 to 0.1.2, we call it as a medium complexities. From 1.2 to 2, we call it as a high complexities. So here you can see like there are like a certain topics, like how this there are like some questionnaire kind of a thing. So and there is a weightage for each question. So it's like a kind of a topics in a project. So it's like a kind of a survey. So by this you can able to justify how the complexity of the interface is. So it's like the low interface or the medium interfaces or the high interfaces. So for each question you rate it's like a rating. So out of two, how much you're gonna rate? How much you're gonna rate? So here you can see you can rate like 0.5, 1, 1.5, 1.25, 1.7, 1.8. So on the questionnaire, if you rate like a 1 to 2 and by calculating and you get an average. So let's say if the average is it's like let's say like 1.8 or something like that. So the interface of the project is classified as a high interface. Let's say if it is classified like 1.2 or something like that, the interface is classified as the medium interfaces. So this is all about the ICAT matrix and the interface influencing factors. And it provides the details, ICAT provides the details on interface influencing factors. So once the project professional determines the level of interface management, so, and these are the, including like the prior collaboration experience, language, culture, geographical locations and the time zone, communication means, scope definition, design codes and standards, environmental conditions. So this is the second topic in the interface management. So these are the two important topics, so the PRI matrix and the ICAT matrix. The PRI matrix is used in the high level and the ICAT is used in the low level of determining the interface management processes. So the third, third topic I would like to explain about the attributes for a good interfaces. So in the previous, I have mentioned about the hard interfaces and the soft interfaces. So the interface point, it's like the project scope defined by the project documents in which the responsibility passes from one stakeholder to another stakeholder. So if you see here the soft interfaces and the hard interfaces. The soft interfaces, it's like the flow of exchange, like it's like a communication between the two parties. We call them as the soft interfaces. And when it's coming to the hard interfaces, it represents the physical connections between the two or more components. Like let's say the structural steel connections or the pipe terminations or the tie-in points and the cable connections. We call them as hard interfaces. And internal interfaces, which it's identified as a single scope of work, and the external interfaces, it's identified between two or more scope of works. And this is the general type of interfaces, the physical interfaces, the functional interfaces, the contractual interfaces, the organization interfaces, the knowledge, resource, social, static, and dynamic. And these are the necessary attributes for each interfaces, the unique identification number, the revision number, the date of last revision, supplier and receive details, interface description, staging activities, and the supplier and the receiver signature agreeing upon the required interface details. And the interface agreement form, it's a recommended and simply way to document an interface. So this is the sample interface agreement form looks like. And the interface configuration management, it's like the IM, which is utilized as a central interface management that helps to ensure the proper communication and transparency between multiple parties of the project. And what is IDR? It's the interface data register. So it's like a centralized interface data register for the whole project. We call it as a repository document. So and it's easily review all interface agreement forms based on what is required. So this is like an interface data register. It's like the data register. It shows the good example of how to implement an interface in the whole project. If you see the interface data register, you can see like the general information, dates, and the statuses. So this is a pretty good example for the interface data register. So these are the three topics I would like to cover. Thank you.